Hello Explorers, welcome to Art at Home with Mrs. C. Today I'm going to show you how we are going to put together a house collage. So what Miss Camillo has done is I've gone outside, I drew a picture of my house, very simple. Okay, we're going to focus on shapes, and I've started to cut out my pieces to build my house. I've started with a lot of squares, a lot of rectangles, just to get the house part and the roof part happening before I get into any details. Now notice on my apartment example, I did put a blue background for the sky, so if you wish to do that first, you can glue that down first, or you can just get started. All I've used for my background is a piece of cereal box. So I've taken the cereal box and I've cut out the back side, the back piece, and I just flipped it over for the background of my house. Now, once you have your pieces cut out, remember, keep them very simple. You need to decide which kind of glue you want to use. A lot of my pieces are kind of thin, so I think I'm going to go with a glue stick today, just to avoid any globs of glue happening as I put this together. So as you piece it, you want to start with the lower layers first. So I'm going to start with the squares or rectangles of my house, and I'm just going to do a little bit of glue to get them put down. And I've kind of stuck with some pages from a magazine for the base of my house, just to kind of keep it all the same while showing some differences. I'm going to piece it together very slow and steady to ensure I get the shape that I want. You do not want to rush this project, boys and girls. This one I might place a little bit lower. This one I might place a little bit higher. And a lot of these edges are going to be covered up by the bushes that I'm going to add up front, so you don't have to worry about them not being even. Now for the roofs, I think I'm going to do the biggest roof first to get that in the background of our picture. And collage is all about finding pieces and putting them together to make one picture. So you can use magazines, you can use newspapers, index cards we're going to use in a minute, maybe for some details. You can even add color to maybe newspaper to make it look a little bit more exciting. And this one I might need to pull back a little bit. You can see that roof line kind of hits in a different spot. And I'm not sure how I want to do this just yet. It's all about experimenting, friends. Piecing it together one by one. Okay, all right. So now I did cut some pieces for the stairs to the house, so I'm going to glue those on next. So we're getting into a little bit more details. So I'm going to lay them out before I glue them down, just to get an idea of where I want them to go. We do have an orange door at the Camillo household, so I definitely want to get that orange door in there. And now I just have to think of other details. So maybe some windows I can cut from a piece of index card, and notice how they're both kind of white. So to change that, I could easily take a crayon and just add, if I want to stick with the orange theme, add a little bit of color to part of this card, only big enough for my window, so that I might need to use the card for something else, and then I can cut out a window. And index cards are great because they already have the lines on it, so it might help you cut a little bit straighter. So I'm going to put a window there. Maybe I've got this really cool part from a magazine. I can cut from my two windows there. So now I'm going from a triangle to rectangles. So I kind of have to brainstorm and think about how I want to do this. And with collage, you don't want to throw anything out because you might need it later. So I can use those for those two windows, and it looks like I need one more set of windows on that side if I want to stick to the magazine. I have a lot of magazines happening on that side though, so maybe I will switch to some of this pink paper that I have left over. And this might be a little too small, so I might cut a new piece from my scrap paper to put right there. Last but not least, we are going to need some bushes up front, but I think I'm going to go ahead and glue down these pieces just so I have them in place while I do that final step. Now, boys and girls, everybody's house is different. Houses come in all shapes and sizes. So just do what you can, okay? Make your picture the best you can as it appears like your very own house. This will be a great piece to have to keep forever. And I love collage because you're just using your imagination, using your creativity to use different pieces and kind of putting them back to this puzzle. All right, so I've got my door down. I need my stairs. It is a little bit of a slow process, so you have to be patient, and things are going to move. I promise you things are going to move, so just be patient with it. And if you want to ask for help, maybe from a sibling, or do this as a family activity, that might be fun as well. However you want to do it, works just fine, okay? Last but not least, we need some bushes, okay? So I've got some scrap paper, some light green, and I have dark green. I don't want to use all of the same green. We want to show some variety. So maybe I would even use some of this index card. I might do that. I might grab some greens and add some color to the rest of this index card and use this for part of, and now I'm getting some texture from my apartment that I made earlier. So that's kind of a cool way to get some texture, to get some color combination. Check out how pretty that is, boys and girls, before I cut it out. Now, I don't think I want to put it next to that window because I've already used index card over there. So maybe I'll save this one for some bushes on this side. And I want to kind of cut kind of wavy, kind of bumpy, since bushes are very natural. They're not really a geometric shape. Oh, I love it, boys and girls. What do you think? Beautiful job. All right, I've got one set of bushes. I think I'm going to go darker green for the next set. And this one has to reach the stairs, so it might be a little bit bigger. And the cool thing about collage is you can always overlap and build your picture that way. All right, so maybe this one. It's all about layering, and I might have gotten it just about right for those stairs. Excellent. All right, last set of bushes is going to be on this side. I kind of want to eyeball how big I need it to be so I can really make this work. It's really just a big puzzle, boys and girls. And if you cut it too big, you can always trim it down, okay? Bigger is better with collage because you can always trim it back. And this one I might want to keep big and have it going off my page. I think that looks kind of interesting. And what you could even do is do a second layer of bushes in a different color to show a little bit more variety. Just a big puzzle. Oh, I like it. What do you think, guys? I think it looks good. Okay, I do believe our door might need a doorknob. So let's get some scrap paper and do that. Actually, I might just use this index card, but I might flip it over. On index cards, usually one side is blank and the other side has the lines. So I think I'm going to switch it over to the blank side. Cut out a little teeny tiny doorknob. And as you get into more details, your pieces are going to get smaller. So just be prepared for that. Okay. If I want, while I have that index card out, that nice pretty white, I could add some clouds in the sky. So you want to think about your whole picture. Like I said, if you want to do the blue in the background first or just in the sky area, you can. That is up to you. I like the look of the cardboard, so that's why I did it like that. All right, I think we are ready to start gluing down some of our final pieces. So our stairs are already glued down. I'm going to go ahead and glue down this teeny tiny little circle just so I don't lose it. And my cloud. And look at that, you don't even see the other side when you glue it down. So piece by piece. Now this one, I might want to glue down this set of bushes first, just because it's the lowest layer. It's underneath all the other bushes, so you want to do it in layers. And glue it down really well. You don't want any pieces flapping in the wind. Oh, I'm so excited about this, guys. These are going to look great. And this one, I need to do the biggest one first, since I have more details underneath. Glue that down. It's kind of going off my page just a little bit. My added set of bushes up front. And if you have flower beds in front of your house, you can do flowers too. One other little step I did notice on my first sketch is that I have, there are actually 2 sets of windows. So if I wanted to make that line, I wouldn't just grab a marker or a crayon and draw a line in the center. I'd have to cut it from paper. So I have this piece of scrap left over. Remember how I said don't throw anything out until you're done? This is what I mean. So I might need to measure it. And these pieces are going to be very tricky because they're so teeny tiny, but the little details go a long way in collage. And you can go as far as you feel comfortable with details. If you like it just how it was, then leave it just like that, boys and girls. This one I might need to divide up, so maybe I'll take some scrap. Got some yellow left over. We can tie in that yellow over there and make it super skinny. That's actually a single pane, so I'm actually going to go the other direction. I'm going to put my window pane that way. It's a little hard to see just because the yellow and orange are very similar, but that's okay. And last window over here, I think I'm going to use this yellow since I have this piece left over. And it might not be long enough, so Miss Camilla might have to have a new plan for that. I can easily cut a new piece and just trim it down. We are problem solvers, explorers. That is what we do. So make it work with what you got. I'm using scrap paper. I'm using cardboard from cereal boxes. If you have any junk mail, any old magazines that you can cut up, then you can do that too. And bada bang, bada boom, boys and girls. Miss Camilla's house collage is complete. Layer by layer, take your time. I miss you guys. Have fun. Bye.